You might be eating something today that is silently leading you to a stroke. Yes, that's a strong statement, but it's real, and it happens every day to people who seemed to be just fine. According to the American Heart Association, more than 70% of adults over 60 in the US have hypertension. Most feel nothing. They live their lives normally until one day a heart attack, a stroke, or kidney failure strikes. The truth is, high blood pressure is a silent enemy. It gives no warning, causes no pain, and when it does show itself, the damage is often already done. And here's something even more alarming. Many of these cases begin right in your home, kitchen. Processed foods, seemingly harmless combinations, or even traditional meals we grew up thinking were normal, are sabotaging your blood vessels every day. Did you know, for example, that a simple breakfast item can contain nearly twice the amount of sodium your body should have in an entire day? After 60, the body changes. Arteries lose elasticity, kidneys slow down, metabolism drops. And that means every bite counts. Eating well is no longer just a matter of taste, it's a matter of life or death. That's why in this video, we'll reveal the 5 most dangerous foods for people with high blood pressure after age 60, counting down from the least bad to the biggest threat and the worst part. The number 1 item is found in almost every American home. But just a heads up, this video is for informational purposes only. It does not replace your medical consultation. Always talk to your healthcare provider before making dietary changes. And before we begin, tell us in the comments where you're watching from and subscribe to the Age with Strength channel. Here, you'll find clear, reliable, and easy to follow guidance to live with strength, freedom, and health. After 60 now, take a deep breath and get ready to rethink your habits. Food number 5 might be on your plate today. Food 5. Whole grain breakfast cereal. Wake up, pour some cereal in a bowl, add a splash of milk, and think, I'm starting the day healthy. But, are you really? Many breakfast cereals marketed as whole grain or high in fiber are actually wolves in sheep's clothing. The packaging screams health, but the ingredient list reveals hidden sugar, sodium, and additives that quietly raise your blood pressure. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension showed that regular consumption of ultra-processed foods like packaged cereals is directly linked to higher blood pressure levels, especially in people over 60. That's because these foods combine 2 dangers: high sodium content and low nutritional value. And the sneakiest part, even the cereals that look healthy, with green labels, nature-themed names, and even the word fit, often contain more than 200 milligrams of sodium per serving. And let's be honest, who eats just 1 serving? What should you do? Swap boxed cereal for real, nutritious alternatives, rolled oats, fresh fruits like banana or apple, and a handful of nuts or seeds. It helps regulate blood sugar, keeps you full longer. And yes, your heart will feel the difference. Food for canned soup and ready-to-eat meals, you get home tired. You open the cupboard, grab a can of soup, heat it in the microwave, and boom, quick, hot dinner. But this practical comfort may be shortening your health span. Canned soups, bouillon cubes, instant sauces, and frozen dinners are some of the biggest sources of excess sodium in seniors' diets. According to the CDC, more than 70% of the sodium Americans consume comes from processed and restaurant foods, not from the salt shaker. These products need to last months, even years, on shelves. So manufacturers load them with sodium and preservatives. A single serving of canned soup can have up to 800 milligrams of sodium, more than a third of the daily limit for someone with hypertension. And there's more. Too much sodium not only raises blood pressure, but also slowly damages the kidneys, causes fluid retention, and leads to swelling, especially in the legs and ankles. What's the solution? Whenever possible, make your own soups with fresh ingredients. A pot full of veggies, garlic, onions, and natural herbs has real flavor and it's heart-friendly. If convenience is a must, freeze homemade portions instead of buying ones. Remember, today's convenience shouldn't cost tomorrow's health. Food 3, French fries and processed snacks. Few foods are as addictive as a crunchy French fry, a bag of chips, or those salty snacks that say just a little salt. But these treats, especially after 60, are powerful triggers for blood pressure spikes. The combo of bad fats, refined salt, and chemical additives directly affects artery elasticity. When you eat these foods, your body enters a state of silent inflammation. And it's this inflammation, according to Harvard Medical School, that increases the risk of chronic hypertension, heart attacks, and strokes in older adults. The issue isn't occasional indulgence, it's the habit. A small bag of chips can contain up to 1,000 milligrams of sodium and trans fats, which are banned in many countries due to their direct link to cardiovascular disease. And the older we get, the more sensitive our bodies become to these excesses. Is there an alternative? Yes. Swap for roasted veggie sticks with olive oil or homemade popcorn with light salt and extra virgin olive oil. If you crave something crunchy, try oven-baked sweet potato chips, oil-free. Your taste buds may take time to adjust, but your heart will thank you every day. Food, too. Processed yellow Cheez-Its in your sandwich, your afternoon snack, your omelet. And it seems harmless. But processed yellow cheese, especially sliced and melted types, is one of the biggest enemies of blood pressure after age 60. These cheeses go through a melting process where emulsifying salts, dyes, and preservatives are added. The result? A food with extremely high sodium and saturated fat levels. A perfect recipe for hypertension and hardened arteries. According to the Cleveland Clinic, a single slice of processed cheese can have over 400 milligrams of sodium, and no one eats just one slice. Plus, the saturated fats in these cheeses raise bad cholesterol, LDL, narrowing the arteries and raising pressure even further. What's worse, this kind of cheese is so common in daily life that people don't even realize how much they're consuming. Sandwiches, lasagnas, snack fillings, cheese spreads. They all carry this silent threat. What to do? Choose low-sodium white cheeses like ricotta, cottage, or a small portion of fresh, unprocessed cheese. And even then, in moderation. Not all cheese is the enemy, but processed cheese is, and after 60, every gram of sodium counts. Food, one industrial white bread it's in nearly every home. It's been around for generations, part of the breakfast of millions. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. White bread is one of the biggest culprits for high blood pressure after 60, though it seems harmless. White bread is made with highly refined flour, low in fiber, and high in simple carbs. But the real problem, hidden sodium. A single slice can have 150 to 250 milligrams of sodium, and no one eats just one. On top of that, white bread has a high glycemic index, causing blood sugar spikes. This puts strain on the pancreas, damages blood vessels, and contributes to insulin resistance, a condition that, according to the American Diabetes Association, is directly linked to worsening hypertension in seniors. And there's more. The combo of sodium, refined flour, and chemical additives found in industrial bread creates the perfect storm for arterial inflammation, fluid retention, and a slow, steady rise in blood pressure. What's the solution? You don't have to give up bread, but you can make smarter choices. Opt for 100% whole grain breads with low sodium, or even better, homemade versions with real grains and no preservatives. Another nutritious option is tapioca, with chia or a slice of steamed sweet potato instead of bread. The key is not repeating the same mistake every day. Small changes bring big results for your heart. High blood pressure doesn't come out of nowhere. It builds up day by day. Through the choices we make at the table, maybe you were surprised by some of the foods we mentioned today, and that's okay. A lot of what we were taught seemed healthy until science said otherwise. What matters now is knowing that you have the power to change. Yes, even after 60. In fact, especially after 60, because that's when every choice starts to matter even more in your energy, your memory, your ability to care for others and for yourself. Avoiding certain foods doesn't mean giving up the joy of eating. It means choosing with more awareness, replacing excess with balance. Have it with care, and remember, you're not alone. Thousands of people like you are waking up to a new way of living in later life, with lightness, wisdom, and health. Now tell me in the comments, what change will you start making on your plate today? Your comment might inspire someone else. And if this content resonated with you, subscribe to the Age with Strength channel. Here we talk about real health, with respect, clarity, and care for those who've lived a lot and still want to live. The path is open. and you're taking an important step. We're here for you. See you in the next video.